I have a few things to say about this Rokkon Mattel Creations exclusive figure for Masters of the Universe Origin. This is the young heroic comet warrior, which means the leader of his kind of comet group, Stondar, who's still kind of waiting to be made to go with him. Classic transforming artwork on here. I think the retro play logo here will come into play a lot more with this one. We'll see when we get it opened up. On the back, no advertisements or info at all, just a big picture of Rokkon taking on the Horde. Still waiting on Modulock for Origins. But that does make the exclusive look pretty beautiful, even looking at the back of the carding. Rokkon here has like this plastic like cover and shield on here, if you can see the edge. Oh, I see why. So this is a little secret way you could take out the comic, so you could read that still without having to open it up. There's like a little pocket to get inside there then. This is some very strange art, but it does have a little sleeve there. I don't know, it just looks odd. I imagine she would look not so strange, but okay. Spear of Eternity! So since it's a US release in Mattel Creations, we got the actual dialogue with it at least. But we do have Stondar shown here as well. Looks like it's kind of going over their little origin story, which I feel like these figures from the old line were supposed to be their own toy line or something. Here, because they did appear in the Princess of Power cartoon way back in the 80s. Got the toy version of the castle there. Doesn't really mention their names in the comic, which is a little weird. No, that is what's holding the card on, so technically you could open this and put it back together the way this is formed. So it's very different packaging here. Here we could just have the card back totally untouched and unripped, but that would be kind of hard to put into stores since it'd be so easy just to slip the figure out. So from a collector site, kind of makes sense, but just be aware it's not exactly like the sealed ones that we've been getting here. So that is unique there. But he is strapped in, so you still have to cut these straps. But you could put him back in his card. Is it still mint on card if you've opened it and put it back in? Does that count? Guess it's really going to depend. So we got Rokkon here. It definitely has a different paint job than the original one. Probably more what it was intended to be, a more smooth mix of the blue and silvery rock. And I never got to have any of the original Masters of the Universe toys when I was a kid. But this one they've designed more like the other figures of the Origins line, whereas I think the old Rokkon was almost like meant to be a toy of a totally different toy line from the design, because it was just all new parts, completely different. Here, you know, we get a little bit of similar, like with the undies and stuff, and the same articulation of the others, but he's not going to be able to move too much with all his rock pieces. He comes apart just like the other Origins figures. Arm here, but I think we don't have like removable rock bits. Like that's just molded onto the arm always, so he's never really going to be able to move too much with anything. But a ton of detail up inside, you know, the mechanical bits inside his rock body here. Little extra bit here with the neck, so he can kind of put his head down a lot more, probably with his transforming feature that's actually intact. They've been kind of scrapping out the play features. Of course, he does have his weapon, but it doesn't have the vac metallicized silver that I think the original might have had. It's just kind of a gray plastic. 2 pegs down and side, so he can kind of hold it as a gun, if you could get it in there, I guess. Maybe not. You have to bend the wrist, maybe, but the stone is a little in the way. You can kind of hold it. Not great. The main thing is his little plug here. He kind of has a front-facing like cannon chest weapon, almost like a Centurion's, the armor pieces coming on. Not sure why this is so loose. That doesn't seem right. But that kind of serves as his weapon. A little bit different ways you can put it on him. So let's see if we can bend him down. Almost like the legs do more bending than a normal Origin. I gotta test He-Man here. I don't feel like you could ever get him to sit so far here. So you can kind of see he's like leaned back. And Rokkon here can really sit. So I think we have maybe improved range of the legs here. These start to just fan out. He-Man. The thing is, this would be a lot simpler with the simple articulation of the original. Just move the parts as far down as they could go. I think it made a lot tighter rock than here. I think we have a lot of gaps just because the articulation bits. So if they're moved ever so slightly, you know, you're going to get those gaps. You got to like move it, straighten them out. So it's not a fast transformation by any means, but he can get fairly closed up. Whoops. Depending on how you move them, except the exposed butt does not look good. Definitely need to look at that at the front here. It's a rock. I'm kind of reminded of the scene from Big. He worked at the toy company and the dude was presenting his skyscraper transformer.
I don't get it.
What's so fun about a building? Like, what's so fun about a rock? So we can kind of do it at least, so I do appreciate that element, since so many of the Origins figures started dropping their feature in favor of just getting this more articulated pieces. It does have some good shiny silver bits with some of the face and everything. I'm just collecting characters that did appear in those old cartoons, so he did happen to make a few appearances in the Princess of Power Shera cartoon that was very connected to the Masters of the Universe cartoon, and still part of the original old toy line as well. So I feel like the body and appearance and face and everything are fairly faithful, and you can still do his feature the way they've designed this. He's still fairly posable, not as posable as the others without these rock bits. And he probably won't fit into too many of the vehicles if you were going to do something like that, just because of these pieces. But he's his own vehicle. He turns into a comet, so there you go. I've been collecting Origins since the line began just because I never got to have these toys as a kid. I just see reruns of the cartoons on TV. All the toys long gone from the toy stores by the time I was watching. So this is cool to get that old style look as if it was the original toys, but they are just kind of enhanced and you're getting clean, brand new versions. You don't have to hunting down beaten up old versions of the toys. There's a few things that are different, like, you know, some ways it's done, like the ray gun not having that vac metal on there. Definitely looked like it was supposed to be its own toy line with the stone transforming, but was released under the Master Universe banner and does appear in the cartoon, so it fits my criteria pretty well. Usually I just open actual older action figures here to show as I collect them. But retro themed I like to show as well here. So I've opened every other Origins figure I've gotten, and vehicle and playset as well. If you like the way I show them off here, it's going to be worth a watch to watch my journey through the whole collection, especially since I never got to have any of the characters as toys before. And then I'm looking forward to getting Stondar if they do that as well. Hope to see you in the next video. I'm hidden perfectly. No one can find me. Kind of feel a draft here or something.